Dual Cultivation, WN, Chapter 76. What else are you hiding from me? What a sight to behold, said Su Yang in a calm voice. The examiner remained silent, but her face seemed more flushed than just a second ago. After another moment, Su Yang continued. We still have more than half an hour left for this assessment, he said as his hands approached her body again. Wait, I have not recovered yet. Without giving the examiner a chance to recover, Su Yang said, Senior, I earnestly wish to become a proud inner court disciple of the Profound Blossom sect, so I will be taking this examination with absolute sincerity. Until this assessment ends, I shall give it my all. Su Yang, you bastard. I know the game you were trying to play. Don't you dare try your luck with me, tilde. Midway through her sentence, she suddenly felt Su Yang's fingers caress her bottom lips, causing her already twitching body to bend upwards like a bridge. Don't worry, Senior, I will try my best for the next half an hour in hopes to not disgrace the sect. Why, you were serious? The examiner looked at him with a terrified gaze. She was worried that if Su Yang continued to massage her for the next half an hour, her mind would go crazy from the intense pleasure. In other words, she was afraid to get addicted to the feeling and wouldn't be able to control herself. Did it sound like I was joking? Su Yang looked at her with astonishment. I am taking this examination very seriously, and so should you. I do not have time for jokes, he said to her as his fingers slipped into her slimy cave. Tilde, the examiner's eyes rolled back, and her tongue stretched out of her mouth, making an obscene expression. Seconds that felt like hours quickly turned into minutes, and by the time half an hour passed, the examiner was barely able to stay conscious. Her entire figure was soaking wet, looking as though she just came out of a steaming hot room. The lower part of her body was jerking non-stop, and liquid would occasionally squirt from her bottom lips. Senior, it has been an hour. I will now leave you alone and give you time to judge my shameful performance, said Su Yang as he adjusted his robes and tightened the sash on his waist. The examiner did not reply, only lay there silently. Though, to be precise, she wasn't able to respond to him, as she was so exhausted from the constant moaning that she'd long lost her voice. However, as Su Yang left the room, her eyes followed his movements, and within her gaze flickered with many complicated emotions. I never really understood why they would want to send someone like him to this sect, but I think I am now starting to understand their thoughts more clearly, she sighed inwardly. Once he left the examination room, the elderly woman that was waiting outside looked at him. What are the results? Did you manage to pass, or did she have a bored expression on her face throughout the whole examination, as usual? Su Yang smiled at her question, and he shrugged. She didn't give me a grade yet, so even I do not know the results, he said in a composed tone, sounding as though he wasn't the least concerned about the results. That's odd. You would normally receive the results before coming out of the room. Speaking of which, where is the sect, your examiner? She asked him with a puzzled expression. Senior is still inside the room, but I don't think she will be coming out for some time, said Su Yang in a way that made it sound as though everything was fine. Why won't she be coming out? Did something happen to her? She further questioned him. It is a bit complicated, but if you ask her yourself, I'm sure you'll understand the situation, he replied with a slight smile. Complicated? The elderly woman frowned at his words. What complications could there possibly be for the examiner, whose real status far exceeded hers, when it is only a mere inner court examination that they are talking about? Su Yang then continued. I will be taking my leave for now. Until the results are finalized, I will be staying within my living quarters, so you'll be able to find me there. The elderly woman did not stop Su Yang when he walked out the door. Instead, she walked into the room that was used for Su Yang's assessment. However, upon entering the room that was oddly humid, the elderly woman cried out in shock at the eye-popping and mind-boggling scene that was before her. Matriarch. The sect elder ran to support the examiner, who was one of the two sect masters of this Profound Blossom sect. However, when the sect elder got close enough to touch her, the sect master said to her in a panicked voice, Don't touch me. My body is too sensitive right now and will go crazy even if you do as much as gently touch it. Seeing the shameful state the matriarch was currently in, a fire began burning in the sect elder's eyes. Was this all caused by that disciple? I will find him right now and... Wait, the matriarch quickly stopped her from running out the door to capture Su Yang. I am sorry that you had to witness such a shameful sight of me, but forget everything you saw here, and most importantly, do not touch Su Yang. What? Why are you trying to protect him? Isn't he the reason that you were looking like this? Asked the sect elder with astonishment. How could she still protect Su Yang, who had clearly overstepped his boundaries? Not to mention that he was only a mere outer court disciple. A mere disciple who still isn't an inner court disciple had seemingly assaulted the matriarch, for heaven's sakes. If the patriarch knew of this incident, he would surely flip the sect upside down in fury. I am to be blamed for this incident, sighed the matriarch. I have my reasons for showing up at the examination hall today, especially as his examiner. But it is also true that I didn't expect such an outcome. His techniques, I didn't expect him to have such dreadful techniques hidden within him all along. The matriarch could feel the temperature in her body rising again as she recalled the way he handled her body. The sect elder was speechless. Why does the matriarch have a smile on her face at this moment? Additionally, he is a mere disciple at the profound spirit realm while I am at the earth spirit realm. If I didn't approve of his actions, would he still be able to walk out that door after I am done with him? said the matriarch, who suddenly narrowed her eyes at the sect elder and continued to speak in a low voice. Anyway, forget about what happened here today. If I hear even a slight rumor of what happened today, you will be the first I visit. This is an official decree directly from me, the matriarch. When the sect elder saw the killing intent in the matriarch's eyes, she quickly realized that the matriarch was not joking and that she would definitely be killed if she leaked even a tiny peep about what happened here today. This disciple understands and obeys the matriarch's decree. The matriarch smiled slightly and said, Good, now get out and let me rest for a bit. You have already seen enough of my shameful displays. The sect elder quickly ran out of the room and left the matriarch alone inside. When she closed the door, she realized that her robes were soaked in sweat. Although the matriarch is normally laid back, once she becomes serious, then even the patriarch might cower in fear. Still, inside the room, the matriarch slowly sat up after she regained some of her body strength. That little rascal Su Yang, to think he's been hiding such an unexpected talent from me for so long. She chuckled out loud. She then used her fingers to dig inside her own pink cave, looking as though she was searching for something within her hole. After a moment, she retrieved her fingers that were covered with some sort of sticky substance in between her fingers. Taking a few seconds to look at it, she began sucking her fingers in an erotic manner, tasting the sticky substance that was on her finger along with her own holy water. I can taste the pure yang flower within his yang, and quite a large amount too. She mumbled to herself, and a profound smile appeared on her lovely face. What else are you hiding from me, you little rascal?